Now on GMU at 5, the Supreme Court may be poised to overturn Roe versus Wade. Hear what leaked documents could mean for abortion access here in Utah.
And new developments in the case against Idaho mother Lori Vallow Daybell. Hear the punishment prosecutors are pushing for if they can prove she killed her children.
And a devastating crash in Eagle Mountain. Find out what we know about an out-of-control car that killed 2 children and sent 3 people to the hospital.
And we've got a storm system moving through, and we're tracking valley rain and mountain snow this morning in the northern half of the state. And we'll talk about what you need to know on Good Morning Utah that starts right now.
Live, we're there for you. Good Morning Utah at 5 starts now.
Good morning, Utah. Thank you for waking up with us. I'm Jillian Smuckler.
And I'm Brian Carlson. The time is 5 o'clock on this Tuesday. And this morning we begin with a weather alert. We have heavy rain. In some places we're seeing snow out there this morning. We were talking about this behind the scenes here in our studio. It looks like something that you see as a screensaver that you may see on your computer. Snow piling up in Big Cottonwood Canyon. Not expected to see that in the beginning of May. You will see rain there on the road this morning. So let's check in here with meteorologist Thomas Gibo. Thomas, it's coming down out there today.
Yeah, that it is. So this morning, if anybody's getting ready to head outside, make sure that you're extra careful. Build in plenty of time for that early morning commute as we are tracking valley rain and mountain snow showers. Cold front moved through yesterday, and as the cold front moved through, those winds were whipping something fierce. But this morning, again, we are tracking valley rain, mountain snow predominantly in the northern half of the state, stretching down to the central half of the state. But along the Wasatch Front, more or less between Davis County, Salt Lake County, Utah County, we're definitely seeing times of steady rain showers. We're starting to see it taper just a little bit off to the northwest, but as you make your way up Partley's Canyon, Weber Canyon, we are looking at times of snow. So this morning, and especially around Point of the Mountain where I was driving this morning, there have been a little bit of snow that has been at Point of the Mountain. So we are looking at valley rain, mountain snow, that snow level kind of right around 5,000 feet. Here's the view from ABC4 News Studios as that rain is currently falling, and we have that breeze out there this morning, and the winds, they're still whipping in some spots. We still have a wind gust of 28 miles per hour in Provo, 26 miles per hour in Hanksville, 20 miles per hour in Cedar City, and 30 miles per hour in Milford. And our temperatures, they're definitely on the cool side. It's 40 degrees in Salt Lake City, 37 degrees in Provo, 37 degrees in Logan. Meanwhile, down in southern Utah where the cold front hasn't moved through yet, you can tell we're at 64 in Hanksville, 71 in St. George, and 65 degrees in Lake Powell. So down in St. George, all is relatively quiet. It's just going to be a windy day across the southwest desert. So for Salt Lake City, we're going to hold on to the chance for more scattered showers as we go throughout the day. Going to be a windy day as well. Meanwhile, St. George, mostly sunny, slightly cooler, but there will also be potential for some patchy blowing dust across the southwest desert. Now, as we check our traffic out there this morning, we have two accidents, one of those very close to the I-80 and I-15 interchange, and one I-215, the entry ramp from Utah 201 eastbound crash. Looks like somebody hydroplaned in that area. But our drive times this morning, they're still looking okay. Provo to Salt Lake City, 37 to 38 minutes. Just be careful with those slick roads out there. Safe travels.
Thank you, Thomas. Turning to developing news this morning, the U.S. Supreme Court appears poised to overturn Roe versus Wade, the 1973 decision that grants the constitutional right to an abortion here in the U.S. A leaked draft opinion published by Politico last night shows at least 5 of the court's conservative justices signed on to end abortion rights in the U.S. Now, the opinion's apparent author, Justice Samuel Alito, argues that decisions on abortion should be made by politicians, returning the issue to individual states. It is important to note, though, this isn't a final ruling. Things could change by June when the official decision is made public.
And leaked opinion draft now sending shockwaves across the country. Protesters gathered out in front of the court last night carrying pro-choice signs. D.C. police put up barricades in front of the building in anticipation of unrest. Now, without the court's official ruling until this summer, uncertainty remains this morning, sparking questions about the future of abortion access nationwide. ABC4's Ali Rulian is live in Salt Lake City this morning. So, Ali, what would overturning Roe versus Wade mean for Utah?
Well, Utah is in a unique position. Utah is one of 13 states in which has something called a trigger law, meaning our laws on abortion could quickly change after the Supreme Court releases an official opinion. Utah passed Senate Bill 174 back in 2020, which allows the state's legislative council to look at a new Supreme Court opinion on abortion and consider if the state has the authority to enact a ban. If they give the go-ahead, the law would go into effect, banning abortion in all cases except for rape, incest, or to save the life of the mother. SB 174's sponsor joined ABC4 last night to share his reaction to the leaked opinion. He says he was surprised and excited, but also deeply disappointed.
This is some ways a political maneuver intended to influence the judiciary's decision. And in some ways, I would argue, this is probably a very egregious attack on our courts. And
we also met with the president of Planned Parenthood in Utah. She says this ruling is just going to push people to travel outside of the state to get abortions. But for women who don't have the means to do so, it'll leave them in a difficult situation without the medical care or financial means to have an abortion.
People who are desperate to be able to plan their families and help their families live their best lives, those are the people who are going to be devastated.
Again, this is not a final decision. Under federal law, abortion is still legal, and like Jillian said earlier, that decision is coming in June. For those interviews in full, you can head to our website, abc4.com. Live in Salt Lake, I'm Allie O'Rulian, ABC4 News.
Thank you, Allie. Now, news of that leak is drawing reactions from some of Utah's top politicians this morning. The office of Governor Cox writing on Twitter, quote, "While we're encouraged and optimistic at the possibility that abortion law will be left to the duly elected representatives of the states, draft rulings are not actual rulings, and leaked drafts are a dangerous violation of court protocol." Meanwhile, Utah Democratic Party Chair Diane Lewis writing, quote, "The Republicans have been fighting for decades to impose their unpopular extremist views on this issue upon Americans, while Democrats have stood firm in the belief that reproductive freedom is fundamental and must be protected," end quote. Now, of course, ABC4 News is there for you. We're going to have continuing coverage on the future of Roe versus Wade, so make sure to stick with us right here on air and online at abc4.com.